A very special reharmonisation there for all the mothers in the chat tonight. Happy Mother's Day to you all, particularly those who are of the motherly female disposition, and particularly those of you with children. Hope you've had a lovely day, and I hope you've been looked after and spoiled. So today is Mother's Day here in England, but we are in Lent. But we also had the Annunciation this week, so it's sort of like a celebration of Mary being told that she's expecting. It nicely coincides with Mother's Day, that, I think. So I'm sorry to say, but in 9 months' time, Jesus is going to be born. And that has become known as, yes, you know, Christmas. And I'm sorry to anyone who that's given a little heart attack to, but yes, Christmas is 9 months away. Baby's in the womb, and will be born. My money is on around 23rd of December. I think 23rd. No, tell you what, 25th. I'm going to put my money on the 25th this year. That's when it's going to be born, and I reckon it'll be a girl, and her name will be something like Janet. I think Janet this year. Okay, so why did we start with that? Well, we started with Sing we of the Blessed Mother, who received the angel's word and obedience to his summons, bore in love the infant Lord. There we go. Perfect for the Annunciation. And of course, relevant to all the mummies in the chat as well. So tonight we have a top five. We have a recorded top five from Scott. Thank you very much, Scott, for sending in your top five and giving us a bit of a story into your reasoning for requesting those hymns. A bit of a personal story, a personal journey. Very much look forward to playing that. But before we get there, we've got half a dozen or so hymns to get through, and a little organ piece as well. And then we'll get into the live requests, which I have no idea what will come in. So if you want to send in some, hymns for Mother's Day, please be my guest. Or if you want to send in some hymns for Father's Day, that's okay as well. Or Lenten hymns, but perhaps let's lay off the Christmas hymns for now, all right? So let's go into our next hymn, which is a request tonight. And this is a request from James, our esteemed producer tonight. Well, actually, no, is James producing, or is it Josh? James, it's James tonight. James is in the hot seat, so James is going to keep you under control. And James has sent me a request for Ye Servants of God, Your Master Proclaim. However, the words, I've just told you the words. The music is not this one. It's going to be something a bit different. This is what James says in his request. I'll just stop those bells in a minute, won't we? As much as we enjoy those bells. So this is in memory of Michael Boxall, who suddenly passed away recently. He was a regular viewer of Virtual Church, along with other members of his family. Michael had been organist and choir master at Carshalton Methodist Church for over 20 years, and the family have asked for the NEH version of this hymn, with the fourth verse pedal part, as we know what that is, yes. As it was played at his wedding to his wife, Rosalind, who will be tuning in. Well, if you are here, Rosalind, condolences to you, best wishes to you, thoughts and prayers with you and the whole family. And I hope that me playing this hymn, which James has very helpfully told me is number 427 in the NEH. I hope me playing this hymn will bring you some happy memories of your very special day when you are married to dear Michael. So the tune is called Laudate Dominum. Traditionally sung to the words, "Oh, praise ye the Lord." The music is by Joseph Parry. Sorry, Charles Hubert Hastings Parry. I don't know why I said Joseph Parry. And the music is actually from a big anthem called "Hear My Words, Ye People." Okay, I think the bells are quite appropriate. We can imagine these bells are ringing for Michael and Rosalind. Well, I hope that brought back very many happy memories of your wedding day, Rosalind. And I'm very sorry to hear about your news. So actually now we're going to have something which is actually quite relevant to the news of Michael passing away, and it's actually been requested by our good friend Daniel Kubacki. The hymn is "Be Still and Know that I am God." And as usual, Daniel has been good enough to send me through a recorded introduction, so I'll hand over to Daniel to introduce it himself.
Hi Richard, this is Daniel Kubacki. My request for this VC is "Be Still and Know That I Am God," number 66 in the Complete Anglican Hymns, Old and New, aka the Smelly Hymn Book. A short hymn with a simple message. Be still and know that I am God. I am the Lord that healeth thee. In thee, O Lord, I put my trust. The tune is moving without being complex. It is a great hymn for Lent.
as Daniel says himself, very moving and very appropriate indeed for Lent. I've been told by my good producer tonight, James, that I haven't done the washing up from last week. So, the wonderful thing about technology and having these AI robots in our lives these days is that I can just click my finger and the washing up is done. How's that? Has that gone? Oh, yes, the washing up has done. Everything is now in the dishwasher and we can enjoy the evening thinking we have a nice, tidy kitchen. That's a nice feeling, isn't it? Thank you very much, Bill, for providing some bricks for the music room. And thank you very much to our dear friend over in Wiltshire, who's actually made me a clock to go in the music room. So this is novel. If you want to suggest making me some stuff to go in the music room, then I'd be open to suggestions. Let's not have too many clocks, though. I've already got a clock. But if you want to suggest anything, please do let me know, and I'll be open to suggestions. You can leave your mark, so when you come and see it, you'll be able to see your creation in the infamous forthcoming room. We also need to have it like properly opened, like maybe blessed. So we need to find someone who can come and bless it and really, make it not a sacred space, but a safe space, and it has to be an appropriate space. I think we have to bless it somehow. Any ideas on what we could do with that? In the cross of Christ-like glory towering over the wrecks of time has been requested by Josh Wilson, who is our usual other producer. He's having a night off tonight, I think, well deserved. As we look to the cross during our Lenten journey, this is one of my favourite hymns for Lent. It is a good one. The tune is called Is this the one you want? Yes, Rathbun. And it's not very long. It's only 4 verses, so we'll have to you have to get into it pretty promptly. So let's have a go with the clarinets first. Beautiful tune. Thank you very much, Josh, for requesting that. Thank you very much to Heki, who's just sent through €10 to asking to play a hymn, which I will do later on, of course. Okay, so on to our fifth hymn tonight, which comes in from Susie W. This is I think this is appropriate for Lent, really, this hymn. Sorry, I've just written, will you Lent? That's not right. It's, will you come and follow me? Oh, hello, Bobby. You've not been here for a while. Here it is. Will you come and follow me if I but call your name? Will you go where you don't know and never be the same? Will you let my love be shown? Will you let my life be grown? Will you let my love be known, sorry. Will you let my life be grown in you and you in me? Susie just simply says that she loves the hymn words and tune. The tune is called, I think the only tune that we can have for this one is, it's called Kelvingrove. I hope this is the right tune, Susie. I think it is actually a different tune to what you've written on the requests form, but I think this must be the one. Hopefully it is. If not, then I'll give you a refund. Now the question is, do you want the notes dotted or not? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just keep it straight. I think the dotting them actually is an editorial thing. I think the original doesn't have the dotted rhythms. You'll know what I mean when I start playing it. So you'll all know the tune, I'm sure. Now, apparently, has anyone noticed this? My voice is slightly behind what you can see. It looks okay on the screen. Let me just, let me just quickly see if I can just fix that for you. Bobby, goodness sake. I'm going to go black for a sec. I should be back. I don't know whether that's made any difference. It's unusual that there's a lag. There should not be a lag. Is there normally a lag? The voice has been out of sync for weeks. Oh. I wonder why. I can't think of a reason why it's lagging. I'll have to look into that. Would you leave that one with me? Yeah, cattail here. Leave that one with me, and I'll look into that. Hugo, you did ask what is the sort of the average lead time or the wait time for a request. You asked for the Thalben-Ball, didn't you? I'll play that. I will play it. I've only got one more hymn to play, and then I'll do it. I'll do it within the next 10 minutes. How about that? Is that okay? Because first, we have a request from Flawless Bus, one of our favourite YouTube screen names. He's made a request. He says, thank you for playing Rachey, or must be Rachey, last week. This week I was thinking of the hope we have in Christ, the hope of sins forgiven, and the sure and certain hope of resurrection to eternal life. But this song has been in my head for a while now. Well, let's see if we can quash that squash that earworm that you've got. Now, this is not especially a hymn that I would normally be playing, because it looks like a song more than a hymn. It's written out with sort of piano accompaniment. But I'll give it my best shot. Stay there. I'll give it my best shot at this. So this won't necessarily be as you would probably have normally heard it, Flawless. But I'll see what I can do, okay? So, are you helping me, are you? That's really helpful. Yeah, perfect, Bobby. Thank you. Just where you need to be, isn't it? To cause maximum destruction. You've got a hair in your eye. Can I get it, please? Because it's going to annoy you. Look, you've got a hair in your eye, Bob. Have I got it? Okay, yeah, got it. Right, come on, off you get. Off you get. Down, down, down. Okay, let's have a go with this. Let's try the cornet sound. Please. Well, thank you very much, Keith. I didn't know you had an actual name. And apologies for getting one of the repeats in the wrong place. I was sort of looking at it, I was playing it and thinking, oh, there's a repeat here, and I hadn't worked out where the repeat went, so I decided to do a little bit of an improv in the middle. Okay, so now we have a hymn request. This is our final hymn request, and then we've got a couple of organ pieces to play, and then we're going to go into our top 5. So tonight's this request comes in from Bill. Bill, I will hand over to Bill now, and he's requested an organ prelude on the wonderful plain chant hymn Adoro, which most of you will know, I'm sure. So what I'll do is I'll play the hymn tune just a couple of times, maybe 3 verses. No, I'll give you 2 verses, and then we'll go straight into the chorale prelude on which it's based by Healey Willan. And Bill has been very kind and sent me through a recorded introduction, so we'll get to hear Bill's mellifluous voice, and it also makes it much more personal to hear people's own voices rather than mine. Thank you very much to those people who have just donated. So Nick Knack, thank you very much for your 15. And William, thank you very much for your 10. That's very kind of you. And Brian, thank you very much for your 50. We've got a couple more bricks for the music room. Did you see my picture, Brian, that I put on last week of, not of the music room, of course, but just our property being developed? It's the start of something very exciting, I think. So let's crack on now. Bill, I'll hand over to you, my friend. Off you go.
Hello, Richard and VC friends. Richard, would you play this choral prelude on the plain song Adoro te Devote by the Anglican Canadian organist and composer Healey Willan? For those with an NEH hymnal, it is hymn number 308. The Latin text is attributed to St. Thomas Aquinas. The English translation printed on the score uses formal 19th century English, verb conjugations, and grammar. Thee we adore, O blessed Saviour, Thee who in thy sacrament dost deign to be. Both flesh and spirit at thy presence fail, yet here thy presence we devoutly hail. The tune is an archetype of humble beauty and feels as if it has always existed, yet even a new auditor may feel recognition like they've known it their whole lives. This was one of the first pieces I learned as a new organist 40 years ago, and I've returned to and played it as a service prelude to contemplatively accompany the Eucharist, for which it is purpose-made, and as a meditative voluntary. Thank you.
And of course, the other piece that Healey Willan wrote is this one. So on. A little bit different to this one. I've played a few of these chorale preludes now, and they're actually very gentle, very almost sight readable for many people. Harmonically quite straightforward, but compare that to his mighty introduction to Passacaglia and Fugue, which that was the beginning of. It's a big 20-minute long piece. It's very different because that's very harmonically exciting. It goes all over the place. I think it must go through every single key. Not every key, but what I mean. So I think it must go at some point on the chromatic scale, whether it's a major or minor. Check it out on my channel. I've played it several times. Probably the best recording on there is the pipe organ of Truro Cathedral. Healey Willan, Introduction to Passacaglia and Fugue. A live performance from a recital that I gave there, was it last year or the year before? Not too long ago, though. So, I hope that was all right for you, Bill, my friend. And now I'm just going to quickly play this. Well, I'll play it in the appropriate time, I suppose, not quickly at all. I won't rush it. But it has been requested by someone with an excellent name. I think the best name. But then maybe I'm a little bit biased. Hugo, I see it feels funny me saying that, has requested the Elegy by George Thalben-Ball. So this piece actually works really well on the organ of Romsey Abbey, and I shall play it as if I was playing it in the building. But truth be told, to those people who know a thing or two about Hauptwerk, I'm actually using an extended edition of the organ, which means that there were one or two more colours to play with than there are on the real thing. But I'll try to be as sympathetic as possible, certainly for the first section. All right, well, let's have a go at that. Maybe if I draw that down, I might just add a little bit of something to it. Yeah, let's try that. See what that feels like. Maybe knock that off. All right, let's have a go. So, Hugo, are you still in the chat? If you are, this is for you. And Alan, yes, I know, Alan, I know this is one of your favourites as well. As simple as that piece is, I think that's one of England's greatest organ pieces. I would say that. I think it's really up there, which is rather ironic because it was just improvised by George Thalben-Ball on a BBC radio, whatever it was back in the day, broadcast. It wasn't really composed, he just improvised it because he was obviously a really good improviser, and then he actually later transcribed it and wrote it down. And it's since become a really popular piece, and rightly so. Good tune, right length, nice crescendo, and a nice diminuendo. So it's up there. So thank you very much, Hugo, for requesting that. And I know Eleanor as well. I know you like that one. I like it as well. I love it. I think it's great. It really shows off an organ. It really shows off those wonderful English foundation stops, the open the diapasons and stuff at the beginning. And it shows off that full swell sound when you have this. That bit. Then it just shows off the full organ on the last page. Then you have the strings, and then it asks for a 32 foot at the end, a very soft one. So it's just got everything. Okay, so now we're going to go into our next section of virtual church, which is actually my favourite part of virtual church these days. It's our top 5, and this one has been sent in by Scott Flanagan, who gives us a brief glimpse into what he has been through medically. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And these hymns have all been requested in relation to to Scott's journey. And I'm very grateful to Scott for sending this really nice top 5 through. So are you in the chat, Scott? Sometimes you don't listen live, but you often listen back on catch up. So let me find the first hymn, and then I will click the play button. Just make sure I've got the first hymn ready so I'm not caught unawares. This is odd because you know when you search for something and you want to arrange the search results into, I don't know, alphabetical. Wouldn't that be useful? Well, on this app that I'm using, no, you can't do that. You can do most relevant or modified, date modified. Anyway, I found it. Let's go on to let's listen to Scott. Take it away, Scott.
Hello, Richard, and everyone here at Virtual Church. This is Scott Flanagan from Fremont, Nebraska. It has been a while since I sent in a top 5. This list is based upon a benefit recital I am giving the end of April to raise money for voice disorder research and awareness. Like many things in life, we take the ability to talk, sing, and laugh for granted, and maybe only give it a passing thought when we have a cold or laryngitis. Vocal music has always been a large part of my life, singing in multiple school and community choirs throughout middle and high school, and in 2003, I came to Fremont, Nebraska to attend Midland University on a vocal scholarship, and shortly after I joined Sinai Lutheran Church. Our first hymn in my list is ELW 742, What a Friend We Have in Jesus. This is a hymn most of us learn as small kids, teaching us that we can take everything to the Lord in prayer. Have we trials and temptations? Take it to the Lord in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden? Again, take it to the Lord in prayer. Little did I know what a powerful hymn this would become in my life. Our next hymn is ELW 769, If You But Trust in God to Guide You. On June 11th, 2017, my life took an unexpected turn. I woke up to go to church and thought I had the worst laryngitis of my life. In less than 2 weeks, I went from being able to talk and sing to having no voice at all and having to communicate completely by writing and hand gestures. Over the next 3 months, I saw multiple doctors, speech therapists, and finally ended up in a last-minute appointment with Dr. Bing Kang at the Nebraska Med Center, who diagnosed me with adductor spasmodic dysphonia and muscle tension dysphonia. Those first 6 months were some of the toughest days of my life that not only tested my faith, but also my mental health. Why was this happening? How will I continue to work? Why should I come to church if I can't participate? Why should I go hang out with friends? But as the hymn says, if you but trust in God to guide you with gentle hand through all your ways, you'll find that God is there beside you when crosses come in trying days. Trust then in God's unchanging love, built on a rock that will not move. The next hymn in my list is ELW 845, Voices Raised to You. By fall of 2018, I was mentally tired of not being able to talk and communicate, and the speech therapy and Botox injections in my vocal cords were not giving enough relief. Plus, I was financially getting drained from doctor's appointments and injection costs. So I made the decision to go for surgery on the 18th of October to correct the disorder. This surgery wasn't guaranteed, but had a good success rate, required a 6-month leave of absence from my job, and only 3 doctors in the U.S. will even perform it because of the risks. They sever the nerve that controls speech and swallowing on both sides of your neck, hotwire a new nerve up, and send you home and say, we now wait and see if the nerve reconnects pathways or not. By April of 2019, I was able to talk with my voice sounding about 75% of what you are hearing today. While I couldn't sing, my friends, family, and I still raised our voices to offer songs of praise that this chapter of my life was over. Over the next year and a half, I celebrate every day I sounded basically normal. Then the end of November 2020, I went to make a morning phone call and I heard a crack, a break, a tightness in my voice. And as much as I wanted to ignore it, I knew instantly that the spasmodic dysphonia was back. And within a month, my voice was back to where we started in June of 2017. This recurrence was almost harder to accept than when it all started. The next piece is ELW 659, Will You Let Me Be Your Servant? This is in honor of the amazing support system I have and the many people who have held the Christ light for me in the nighttime of my fears, wept with me, laughed with me, and have walked with me. And I know they will continue to walk with me till we see this journey through. Our last hymn is my all-time favorite hymn, ELW 880, O God Beyond All Praising. This strong and moving tune is based off Gussault's Jupiter movement from the planets. Over the past year, my medical team and I have come up with a dosage and injection timeline that has totally stabilized my voice and has got it back to what you hear today, which is almost 90% of my original voice prior to 2017. And as a bonus, I can even sing some for the first time since then. I celebrate every day that I can talk and sing and that my voice stays like it is today. As the hymn says, whether our tomorrows be filled with good or ill, we'll triumph through our sorrows and rise to bless you still. Richard, this is a grand hymn, and I love big full organ. So pull out the stops.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Scott, for allowing us to step behind your closed curtain just for a moment and learn a little bit about you. So, the short story is that Scott has had medical issues with his voice, and he's had medical procedures on his voice, seemingly by one of only a handful of doctors in America who would actually perform this operation because it was considered to be so risky. But as you could hear, Scott's voice is perfectly normal. I mean, Scott, if you'd sent me a top five hymns about gardening, and you were talking like that, I would have had no idea that your voice had gone through all of those issues. So I can probably safely say, well, I can safely say from my perspective and everyone listening that you sound great. So here's to a full recovery. Well done, Scott. That was a great top five. I really appreciate you doing that, because I know it wasn't easy to do that vocally. But as you said, it's good to raise awareness about these issues. So thank you for sending it through. Have the chat done their thing and all given a clapping emoji? I can say, see, Bill has given the amazing emoji along with Hickey. Stephen Mills, Carol and Michelle have all given big clapping emojis. But come on, let's all give him, Scott, a big BIS clap. Because it's not easy to record yourself talking. It is very embarrassing, let's be honest. I'm used to it. But come on, there we go. Here they come. So Scott, this is all for you. So if you know, behind you, Scott, you've had your turn now, but you over there, and you sat over on that sofa over there, and I can see you sat down thinking, oh, I should do a top five. Oh, I'll do it next week. Oh, I don't know. The art of procrastination doesn't get you anywhere. So, if you want to send me a top five, just like Scott's done, on any topic relevant to you, relevant to BIS, relevant to anything, send it through and I'll try to do it. And as you'll see, as you would have heard from Scott, it's a really wonderful way to get to know people and get to know our wonderful community, because it is a pretty cool place to be, and I love being part of this club. It's awesome. Exactly. As Michelle says, it gets easier the more you record your own voice. Lots of love. Oh no, that's laugh out loud. Here we go. Scott, look at all this. All these people clapping their hands. Cool. Right, now we go into the sort of the section of virtual church where I have no idea what's going to happen. So this is now where we should all pour ourselves a large drink and just put your feet up and just have a great time. Because I have no idea what's going to come, what have you been requesting? Hopefully good stuff. Okay, so let's go in with... Let's just go in with... where are we? So we've had Hugo's request. He gave his life our Creator and King. Let's have a look at this one from Hickey. Let's have a look at this one. It's been sent to my email, apparently. Apparently, anyway. Who's sent it to my email? Come on, Hickey. Where is it? Where is it? What? Hickey, I've actually got... Oh, yes. Well, we've got a top 5 from Hecky coming up. Not today, but we'll do that in the coming weeks. But I can't find the email. Sorry, it's not there. So let's go on to the next one, which is coming from Nick Knack. That's coming from an email from James. I come with joy. That one is right at the very top of my inbox there. And then the words are, O Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Are you sure? I come with joy, a child of God, forgiven, loved, and free. The life of Jesus to recall, in love laid down for me. In love laid down for me. A tune is called Land of Rest. Let's have a go with this one then. The words I have are different, but that's okay. Excuse me. Really nice tune. Really nice tune. The tune, if you want to go and check it out, is called Land of Rest. And that the words that I was playing were I come with joy to meet my Lord. Okay, the hymn from Hecky has just arrived, which is good timing. It's He gave his life, our Creator and King. His holy blood to us victory brings. Trumpets from Zion ringing clear and divine. Salem now dawns in brightness sublime. So thank you very much, Hecky, for that. This is presumably, is this another Finnish hymn? And a huge thank you to Charles Maurice, who's just popped in to buy a brick or something else, since the foundation is being prepared. The foundations aren't quite being prepared. We've had another part of the plot developed, ready for the foundations to be prepared. But I do thank you very much, Charles, for your contribution to the forthcoming project, which will be this year. If it isn't, then, oh my goodness, we can't wait any longer. Thank you very much, Bill, for your $5. Okay, let's start talking and play this hymn. Daniel, new one to me as well. All of her keys are new to me, and I guess a lot of them are new to a lot of people. Because these are, I think these are mostly from Finland. And I have to confess that, other than Sibelius, I don't know much about Finnish music. And I'm sure most of you listening are in the same boat. But it's good that we have people like Hecky who are introducing us to these tunes, of course. So thank you very much. Daniel, speaking about Daniel, has requested something for Caroline. That's very kind. Well, she's still trying to get the children to sleep. I don't know whether they are asleep. I just heard somebody move upstairs. I'm not sure whether it was little feet or big feet. Sounds quiet. Maybe she'll come down soon. It'd be nice. These are Caroline's flowers, by the way. And this is the card from Hugo and Charlotte as well. Thumbs up from any mummies in the chat tonight. We have Lucy. I know Lucy's got young children. Her name, by the way, is Super Tato. Lucy, why have you chosen to put Super Tato in your screen name? It would be like me putting Richard Paw Patrol McVeigh. Or Richard Hey Dougie McVeigh. Oh, actually, we're going through a Richard Paddington Bear McVeigh at the minute. That's going down very well. I'd highly recommend watching those animated that series on Netflix. The Charlotte and Hugo love it, absolutely love it, and it's actually quite a nice animation because there's always a nice story in it, and the dialogue is very nicely spoken, very clear, good English. Sometimes find with Paw Patrol, with it being Canadian, the language is very sort of like lots of cool and these sort of the sort of language that you'd expect, I don't know, 7, 8, 9-year-olds to be talking rather than very young children. But Paddington is really pitched, I think, very well to very young children. Thanks, Michelle. So give me a thumbs up, anyone who's in the chat who has children of their own, who is a mother. I'd like to see all thumbs up from mothers. Good chappy, that includes you. All right, so where are we going to go next? Daniel has asked for Holy Mary, Mother mild. Oh dearest Mother, exclamation mark. We're shouting. Hear, oh hear, my feeble child. Oh sweet, sweet Mother. Oh exult, ye cherubim, and rejoice, ye seraphim. Praise her, praise her. Oh praise our spotless Mother. Margaret Kirk and Lucy are 2 mothers in the chat so far. Gregory Potter. Fair enough. Come on, we should have lots more mothers than that. Carol, there we go. Bobby, Man's Mouse. Man's Mouse. Hello. I like your picture. I don't know. Nightbot's not a mother, so Nightbot's having he's down at the pub. All right, let's go. So thank you very much, Daniel, for requesting that. Is that a hymn that you sing in your church now, or is that just one that you've happened to find in a hymn book? Anyone else know that one? Good night, FB. Keep tight. So for those people who are not in this country, who are elsewhere in the world, our clocks changed this morning, and it was the clock change that no one looks forward to. It was the one where we lost an hour of our precious sleep. I mean, luckily the weather has been so glorious today, so that's helped. But it now is 11 o'clock in old money, even though it's 10 o'clock officially. Yes. So those people in England are probably feeling quite tired. So good chappy, well done for sticking up. Lucy, well done for sticking with us. Spring forward and fall backwards, of course. So we must keep going before we all fall over and fall asleep. Okay, all things bright and beautiful. They've just come in from Sean. Another one for Caroline. Which tune would you like, Sean? Let's have a look. So I remember actually seeing James asking which tune, because James is so efficient. I love my producers. They're just amazing. I've met James a few times now, but I look forward to meeting Josh if he is able to get over to England. It'd be nice to meet him. So number 251. Now James, by the way, is one of the most immaculately dressed people I've met. Always very well turned out, and I always feel dramatically underdressed when I see him. And next time, when the last organ recital that I gave here on this organ, James was in the room along with several other people, just to give a little bit of a flavour as to what the new music room will be able to do, and also gave me a bit of a flavour as well as how giving a live recital with a live audience would feel and how it would work. And I got the feeling that James is I don't know whether I'm right in saying this, James, but are you a fan of Guinness? He certainly likes Guinness Zero. I like Guinness Zero a lot. Other drinks are available, by the way, if anybody wants to sponsor me. I'm a major drinks company. We should probably go for a zero. If we're going to get sponsorship, probably go for a 0%. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked with zero beers and James's dress sense. Let's get on with all things bright and beautiful, which has been sent in from Sean, who was also here on the same night, and has requested this for Caroline. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So let's have a bit of a sing of our favourite hymn from school, All Things Bright and Beautiful. I saw somebody write, not familiar with this tune. Barbara, you must be not English then, because that is, it's a sort of hymn in this country, and this means no disrespect to this hymn at all, but it's a sort of hymn that is sung at school, in school assemblies, and it is sung a lot at weddings and even funerals, actually. But yeah, we have it a lot in this country. There were 2 tunes. That one was called, I think that one's called All Things Bright and Beautiful, I think. Then the other one is called Royal Oak. That one. It's a bit more lively, I think. But we have now a request from Sue Potato herself, who is always fighting the evil P. Never quite manages to convince the evil P to stop being so evil. The evil P just insists on being evil. So evil, in fact, that this P wears a black mask, just to make doubly sure that you know that he is an evil P. Not a friendly P. No. He's an evil P, all right. Yes. Take my life and let it be. Consecrated Lord to thee. Take my moments and my days. Let them flow in ceaseless praise. Which tune are we going to have then, guys? There's 2 tunes here. Which tune would you like? Have you not suggested one? So there's bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 bum, or bum 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 bum, and so on. Which one shall we have? And I will play it for you. Let me just get some stops ready, and hopefully by the time I've got my stops, you said first or second tune, and I will play Your Wish Is My Command. Lucy, I hope that was okay for you. I look forward to meeting you one day, because I know you're just round the corner, or over the hill, heading west. So if you ever see me doing a recital, you'd be more than welcome to come and say hello. Thy strong word did cleave the darkness to the tune Ebenezer. I think this as a this actually really is a BIS favourite hymn tune. I think this must be up there with one of the most requested tunes. Thy strong word did cleave the darkness, at thy speaking it was done. For created light we thank thee, while thine ordered seasons run. Alleluia, praise to thee, who light dost send. Alleluia, without end. Now there are 6 verses here, guys, so I'm not quite going to play 6 verses. I'm going to play 3. That's okay. I think I know what voluntary I'm going to play tonight. I'm going to play Michelle's request for some Cesar Franck. Play the Prelude, nice quiet ending to tonight's VC. Hello CZW, I played your request earlier on. Were you in the chat when I played your request, Susie? Will you come and follow me? I played both rhythms. Do you know what I mean when I say that? You have to let us know which one you prefer. Okay, so let's have a go with this. Thy strong word did cleave in the darkness to the tune Ebenezer, and it's been requested by Bridget Delaney, but sponsored by Gregory Wanders on behalf of Bridget. So thank you very much, Gregory, for putting your hand in your pocket and sponsoring him on Bridget's behalf. Bridget, it's very good to have you with us. I don't recognise your name, I don't recognise your avatar, your picture. You must be new. If you are new, you are very welcome. And of course, anybody else who is new, you are so welcome in this community. I do hope that you're having a good time, and I hope that you will stick around. I'm sure if you are new, you're wondering what on earth's going on, who are all these people, and what are those funny medal number things after people's name. Channel members get, like Daniel has just written, no Dietrich Buxtehude tonight. Not tonight, Danny, but soon. We'll have some soon. The channel members get medals, and the longer you're a channel member, the more prestigious your medal is. So Michelle's got a 5. I think her next, is there a 6 as well? I can't remember whether there's a 6. But you get a medal like Daniel with 3 on it, and then you've got to be a member for quite a few months to get a 2. And I know I saw Ian Garden earlier, he's got a 2. And I think James Mossop holds the medal for, I think I looked at this not too long ago. The very first channel member is James Mossop, I think. And then you get number 1 when you've been a member for quite a while. But James Palmer, though, he just gets a spanner after his. Spanner's just like, don't mess with the spanner. Basically means he's a moderator. I've got several moderators keeping the chat under control. Anyway, Ebenezer for Bridget. Either Lord, the Sea of Sky is up next, which has been requested by Elaine Fry, but sponsored by Bill Rachey. Thank you very much, Elaine, and thank you very much, Bill, for sponsoring it on Elaine's behalf. I just remembered during that hymn, I don't quite know why I remember during that hymn, but I learned a new word this week, and I hadn't realised, I'm sure there's and I'd like to research this more, I'm sure there's a whole load of words that describe something just so mundane and so ordinary that you do, but yet it has a word for it. I'm sure you can think of some examples, but the word that I learnt today, this week, was goosenard. Has anyone heard of the word goosenard? Now, fair enough, right? Some of you won't have. So, for those people, let me just tell you what it is. And you'll all go, what? That has a word? That has a name? Well, yes. So, if you if you're making some food and you've got a little bit of food left over, it's the process of putting something in the fridge that you know will never get eaten. So how many fridges around the world have little bowls of pasta in it, or a little bit of rice, or 2 potatoes? I know our fridge gets full up with those, so you have to have a declutter at some point. But that is what it's called. Apparently, it's called goosenard. I'm not quite sure how to spell it, but I heard it on a podcast. So you all do it. You've all got something, and you might think, oh, that'll come in handy. I'll have that tomorrow. Of course, you never do. Right. Anyway, let's go on to either Lord of Sea and Sky for Elaine. So it's a good hymn, that. I like that. I like that. So that's one of the better of the sort of the modern worship songs. I'm not a huge fan of modern worship songs, if I'm honest with you, but that one is, I think, one of the better ones. And yeah, I know there's a bar in there which often causes a lot of confusion because some hymn books have it in, some hymn books have it out. I feel the music flows better without it, if I'm honest with you, so I never play it. My hand will save. I who made the stars of... No. It feels like too long a gap. Because the hymn's already started, you know. I, the Lord of sea and the sky, I have heard my people cry. It's going nicely. All who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. Breath. I who made the stars of night. I feel like it's, once it's flowing, it just flows, this hymn. It's just there's quite a lot of movement in the accompaniment. It flows and it feels like a slightly hiatus, and for my money, a rather superfluous filler, really. But you know, each to their own. I know some people like it, some people don't. But there we go. Thank you very much. Who's this? Susie, love the BIS channel, organist and members. Well, Susie, I can beat you there. I love my audience, so no. I think everyone's great. I think this is a really wonderful place to be. Right. One more hymn to go by the looks of it. And we're going to... Oh, Michelle's got the final word tonight. Who is on the Lord's side? This is the... this just... Any newcomers, you know, one thing about VC is that when it gets to this time of night, and I've been going for this long, and I've had such a long day, some days are busy, I just waffle, you know, it's ridiculous. And I remember talking, last time I played this hymn, who was on the Lord's side, we were talking about fantasy football, about who would be on the Lord's football side. You know, it would be Moses parting the defenders. You know, who would be in goal? St. Peter would be in goal, you know, because he has a habit of letting people through or not. So he'd be there in the goal. Not in here, sunshine. And then we got talking about iPads, didn't we? Does St. Peter have an iPad? It's just so strange. Anyway, so this is going to be our final hymn tonight, and then we're going to have a beautiful, I think actually a really good piece for Lent, a good Lenten piece by Cesar Franck. In fact, all of Cesar Franck's pieces are Lenten, aren't they? They're quite solemn. You know, you've got the A minor chorale, number 3, number 2, which is B minor, number 1 is E major, even though actually it still feels quite solemn. I think the only sort of uplifting pieces that he wrote is the Finale, which is a 6th piece from the CPS, 6 pieces. Oh heavens, he must have written something else which was uplifting. Pièce héroïque is uplifting towards the end, of course, when it goes into B major. It's a really wonderful moment. But most of it, you know, is sort of this, isn't it? In B minor. What's Cesar Franck's most uplifting piece? Which, Ryan, we've just said, the Finale in B flat major. They're all sort of quite morbid, aren't they? But anyway, so who is on the Lord's side? Who will serve the King? Who will be his helpers, other lives to bring? Who will leave the world's side? Who will face the foe? Who is on the Lord's side? Who for him will go? By thy call of mercy, by thy grace divine, we us. We are on the Lord's side. Saviour, we are thine. There you go. He can feel reassured that we've got his back, basically. So then after this, I will go straight into the voluntary, which is going to be the Prelude from the Prelude Fugue by Cesar Franck. Just the first movement, because the variation is, I'll just want to spend a little bit of time practicing that, if that's okay. But the Prelude, no problem at all. So I'll play this, and then I'll go straight into that one for you, both requested by our dear friend Michelle. Good chappy, let me just tell you that I know exactly how you feel, my friend. But come on, we've got to man up and push through. That's what we do, isn't it? We just have to keep going. So we're nearly there. Nearly there. Let's take off. Oh no, let's have on the big principles. Okay, so let's have a go with this hymn. A gauge tuba, why not? And now, just briefly, as I go into my organ music and find this voluntary which has been requested by Michelle, and now an opportunity for me to say, well, thank you for watching. I will actually say goodnight at the very end of this. Why not? So, let me talk through the registration. This is the final thing that I'll play tonight. So on this organ, the Cfai Col organ in San Clotilde, Cesar Franck, well, he was always very specific about what he wanted. So let's see if we can get his registration. So he wants the Borden. He wants a flute. Well, that's fine. We've got that. Have we got a... No, we haven't. Okay, that's fine. Flute and a flute. So yeah, so he wants a flute and an oboe, which there's a sound that we're looking for. And then down in the choir, he's asking for another flute. So let's bring the there's a beautiful flute on the grate called the Clarabella at Romsey Abbey. It's one of my favourite stops on the organ. Let's utilise that. And on the pedal, he just simply asks for a 16-foot and an 8-foot. Good. Okay, so I'll have a quick chat with you after this beautiful piece written in 1862. Yeah, thank you very, very much, Michelle, for sending this one through. If you want to check me out playing this on a pipe organ, you're more than welcome to go and find out. It's my recording from Arundel Cathedral. If you just type in Prelude, Fugue and Variation, Cesar Franck, Arundel Cathedral, I'm sure it'll come up. But for now, you've got me at Romsey Abbey. There are worse places to be. And with that, we end tonight's broadcast of Virtual Church, brought to you live here from virtual Romsey Abbey. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you very much for your sponsorships tonight. That's all very, very useful just to keep things ticking here. And I do apologise actually for being a little bit absent during the week. I am working on an updated version of St Mary Redcliffe to version 2, and once version 2 is out, that should hopefully be that sample set pretty much put to bed. When it was released in December, there was always one or two things I just wanted to resolve. Version 2 should put it where I want it to be, but it's taking up a lot of time. So I do apologise for slightly quiet content, creation at the minute, but rest assured, there are several pipe organs coming your way this year, major pipe organs coming your way this year on BIS that I'm going to go and record. So stay tuned for that. I can't wait to get out there back in the field recording. It's what I love doing, after all. But thank you for staying with me. Thank you for your company. And I really look forward to sharing the BIS future with you all. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very bright. The future is bright. I can't wait to get it out there. Really, really excited. So, on that positive note, happy Mother's Day to any mothers in the chat. And yes, you take care, you stay safe, and until next time I will say cheerio. Goodbye everyone.